overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Seven will die. Seven will die. Seven will die someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe seven will die someday. What will cry? What will cry? What will cry someday? Deep in my heart, I do believe what will cry someday.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've all seen that video of Kizza Besigye. Kizza Besigye is a long opposition leader of Uganda. Some people allege actually he was a close friend of Museveni, but they parted ways due to their own reasons. But now Kizza Besigye is arrested. And as we see, he is not in good health. And as you hear those people sing, Kizza Besigye is not okay. And from his facial expressions, his walking style, his sitting postures, and even the way he breathes, you can all hear that Kizza Besigye is not okay. And therefore, it's a concern to all people of Uganda and East Africa at large, where democracy went and why Kizza Besigye is in police custody. Now, the arrest is not really now the major basis of this analysis here today. It is basically about his arrest from the soils of Kenya. May God forbid if at all Kizza Besigye dies. The news will be that Kizza Besigye, who was arrested in Nairobi, Kenya, has died in Uganda custody. That will be the message. Actually, the most serious term there that will be used, who's illegal arrest in Kenya, because we don't allow other police officers, the law does not allow other police officers to cross over to go and arrest people in another country without really informing the territorial police officers, the ones from that country. So it was legal for police officers from Uganda to come to Kenya and arrest Kizza Besigye, who had come for a seriously legal function. Then he was arrested in the name of having illegal firearms and many other charges that they are brought against him in the court martial. So therefore, Kenya will not miss in the books of history for allowing an illegal arrest to take place, and later on this huge politician goes and dies. For instance, may God forbid that Kizza Besigye keeps living. But we are assuming in a worst case scenario that Kizza Besigye is no more. The world will always remember that he was illegally arrested in the country. And the government led by President William Ruto allowed the transport of Kizza Besigye from Kenya all the way to Uganda. Some people say that he was transported by car. From Kenya to Uganda. Then you ask ourselves this way. Who did we arrest? Who did we elect as a country, as a people, back in 2022? Was it a God-fearing president? Was it a people-caring president? Or who was he? Who is President William Samoei Arap Ruto? Me, I'm confused. I'm confused because as a man, there are some questions that must come in your mind whenever something happens to you. Is this okay when it's done to me? Is this okay when it happens to my children? Is it okay when I'm in court or arrested illegally? My kids are left alone. My wife is left alone. These are questions that we must keep asking ourselves, especially when people are married. But now, President William Ruto eats comfortable in State House, sleeps well in his house, goes back to his home at night, or in whichever place he sleeps, eat flies over the country. He has a lot of money, but Kizza Besigye was arrested here in Kenya. He's still in police custody, and there's nothing completely has done about it, and neither has he condemned the act. Now, Kizza Besigye is not the only person who has been arrested in this country. Others have been abducted. Let's talk of the foreigners who were also arrested here in Nairobi, who were abducted. They went missing, all to be found to be in their country, deported from Kenya. The government of Kenya worked with their mother government to ensure that these people have been found and arrested. These people had come to Kenya for protection, for the fear of their life. But now, the government of Kenya sells them, which is completely unacceptable under the international law. These people were not supposed to be arrested. People have come to seek protection in the country, seek asylum. Then you get these people arrested, you disclose their location. Now, probably in their country, they are facing tough times simply because they trusted our country. Therefore, it is completely unacceptable that such kind of things can happen in this country. So when you look at all these things happening, you question, who did we elect back in 2022? The government critic, a lady called Maria from Tanzania, she was also abducted right here in the country. Thanks to the people of Kenya who saw the act, raised some concern, raised an alarm, and eventually she was released. But this was after a series of protests online about the Tanzanian president and of course the Kenyan government. And thanks to Kenyans, which was a clear indication as we speak today that the law is being mutilated not just by the Kenyan president, but across the East African community. People are doing it simply to ensure that they remain in power. Whoever is a government critic, in Kenya they are abducted and killed. In Uganda they are abducted in Kenya and taken back to their home and then gotten to police custody. In Tanzania, they are abducted as well. We all saw what happened to Rwandese. So therefore, the East African concern about the East African security of people who are criticizing the government is a major concern right now. The democracy people have been enjoying, it is no longer there now. People abducted right, left, and center. As if that is not enough. We have right now conflicts in East Africa and even in Sudan. And it's unfortunate that our president of the Republic of Kenya does not care about the peace of our neighboring countries. Or probably they are benefiting from the instability. Why am I saying this? Let's go back to Sudan. There was supposed to be a mediation, but people rejected William Ruto for being the chairperson, for being suspected to be partisan. He has failed already in his speeches as far as Congo is concerned. Then you ask yourself, what is William Ruto's interests? If it happens as I speak today, that every neighboring country is now not trusting him at all. However, it's not a surprise for those who know him, but we did not expect that he will fail locally and fail internationally. Because it is not fair that a rebel group in Sudan is holding a conference here in Nairobi, declaring to form a government, while there's another government in Sudan. Is that peace or it is war that's being declared? I don't know what's your concern about this kind of moves by President William Ruto, but please let me see in the comment section what you think.